Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to speak about a subject of, is there a limit to technology and science? Well, the thing is that you got to think about is, for example, in the history of humankind, well, it took us thousands and thousands, and actually millions of years to get to the point that we are at now. And the fact that it took so long shows in some ways that everything is kind of limited to whatever resources you have at that time. So by that I mean is that the way that we've been able to build technology and science and all that was thanks to the fact that our ancestors, people, and not even just people related to us, but the people that are actually in the past, that worked in the past in different fields and invented different things. It doesn't just relate to basically scientific things or technological stuff, and I'll still say that technological stuff encompasses things such as things that are not necessarily with microprocessors. We'll say things that were built with little grooves, and when they say that we were creating gas engines and locomotives and all these things that were before we actually had microchips, that's still technology in my way of looking at things, because I mean there had to be some sort of evolution to get to the point that we're at right now. And that's where the limitation really comes, is first of all it's limited to what we have known from the past, and then we build from those architectures, those things that were created in the past, and we can go forward and take leaps forward. Now it's also going to be limited by the available materials, the available stuff that is around us that actually gives us the opportunity to build bigger and better things. And then it's also going to be limited by basically the wealth that's around us, by the knowledge that can be bestowed to us through schooling, through self-teaching, the internet, all that stuff. If you don't have all of these things and those things are not lined up for you, well, then it's very difficult to be able to progress. Now, the less limitation we have, the more you're going to be able, or everyone's going to actually be able to make the technology go faster. And it kind of goes without saying in some way, but what we see nowadays with the internet and the availability of things, the fact that people can share patents online, that they can share technology, that they can share their inventions and stuff like that, makes it in such a way that it becomes kind of like a program. If you're into programming and stuff, a lot of times there's stuff that is called open source, which is basically letting it open to the public, and there's a lot of communities that will start putting their heads together, and they're going to start making things according to that, and improving those programs and adding different features and all these beautiful things. And at the same time, it can go with the fact of being able to, like now, for example, we have the whole coronavirus thing where people are able to start sharing their computer processors in order to combine all these processors and help within the research. And it doesn't just go for the coronavirus, it goes for cancer research and for Parkinson research and pretty much any kind of research. And that's where the limit is, even though it's less limited than what it was in the past. Our limit is limited by the technology and science that we know at this current moment in time, and we have to build from that. And again, it goes back to resources on top of that, and it also goes to the fact of the knowledge that we actually can get and the wealth that is around us. So if we don't have wealth, if we have pandemic situations like now, well, there might be some specific fields where the technology is going to get better, but it's not going to improve in all aspects. For example, now we've had a lot of problems with basically too much pollution and stuff like that. So there's been people who are like Elon Musk, who basically are people who are visionaries in their own respect. They're businessmen, but they're also visionaries, and they are able to use the technology that has existed, combine it, bring all the big heads together, make it even better than what it is, and make it affordable in such a way, even though it's not affordable to everyone, but it's getting to a point where it's becoming affordable to have an electric car and stuff like that by regular people. And once that trend starts getting instilled within the society, and we're realizing that we're actually able to diminish our fossil fuel and still combat the people who are basically trying to get all that fossil fuel because they're making so much money out of it, and then the world can slightly, little by little, change. And then because these patents are open and all that, in some way where the technology is shared, then other companies, other manufacturers are able to actually also take advantage of the technology that's given to them and improve on that. And then little by little, if we see that it's easier, better for the earth and stuff like that, then what happens is that we literally becomes part of society, and we are able to build on that technology. And that's how the limit goes, and that's where the limit is, and that's how we're going to go in the future. But luckily in our society, it seems that humans are curious, and the curious brain will always try to find something better within technology and science. So that's it. That's all I have to say on the subject. Have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.